good, girl? You look familiar. Was you on the wrong G-ski trip in 9-5, huh? I see you round the way, pushing your man's Q45, and watch you and your homegirls all the time get excited from the blunt smoke and the Escalade sitting on 25.
Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be another episode in my How a Gentleman Should series, and this one is going to be titled How a Gentleman Should Prepare for a Date. And for me, this video is a little bit about stepping outside of my comfort zone, because while we're going to talk about some grooming tips here, this is going to be also about the mental aspect as well. Now, I wish a video like this had existed for me to watch that would sort of combine some mental tips with some grooming tips. We're going to discuss getting ready for a date in 3 steps in this video. First, the mental state. 2, thinking the date out completely. As I say, the devil is in the details. And 3rd, how to get groomed right and physically ready. Now, a little background on me. I've never been refused when asking a woman out. I don't do it that often. Pick and choose very carefully, and probably have missed out on some opportunities due to unrealistically high standards, which is probably why I'm 36 and not married. I feel I've consistently been able to get women out of my league because I really think things through. I'm not a Casanova. I'm not a Don Juan. I'm probably of average looks. I could stand to lose a little weight, but I always have my shit put together right, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, for most of the reviewers out there, or older guys or guys my age, this might not help you. This is for the younger guys out there, and basically in situations I don't talk about, just use your common sense. None of what I'm saying in this video makes me right. We all have our own way of doing things. So let me start off with this. In high school, there was a girl that I thought I was in love with, at least. She liked me as well. She wanted to go to a semi-formal with me, and for very, very stupid reasons, I decided not to go. Really to prove a point, which was very dumb. And she wound up with going with some guy that I hated and actually blowing him in a seedy hotel afterwards. So after that happened, the dynamic switched, and I became the chaser instead of the chasee. And I didn't realize it back then, but that's a very bad position to be in unless you play it exactly right. But after a long summer, I was going to see this girl for the first time on the day we were going to school to get our lockers. And again, this was the day before school officially started. And on the way to school, I actually vomited on the street because I was so fucking nervous. And that's the honest to God truth. And I was not prepared mentally. So once you have the girl of your dreams say yes to you and agree to go out with you, what do you need to think through? Well, if you're like me, going on a first date with a hot woman is a little bit nerve-wracking. So the most important thing, I think, is to have your head right. The state you want to be in is, I'm the best guy that this girl has ever gone out with and will ever go out with, but here's the kicker. She doesn't know that, and you have to prove it to her. Now, confidence is great. Arrogance is not good. Some guys think that arrogance is great, but at a certain age, women start to find arrogance annoying. So the most important thing you can do that day is relax. If you can compare for the date during the day, that's best. I recommend meditating for a while, stopping your brain from racing and playing out scenarios. Get your heart rate down, build yourself up, play music that's going to put you in a good mood. Next thing you want to think through is, where are you going to go? Dinner is fine, drinks are fine, movies aren't really good. And if you're going to make it a date, do something fun, but something where you can interact and talk with the other person. If you're in a city, museums are great, anything cultural, a walk through Soho or the Village is great, Coney Island, just something fun and different. And prepare to pay at least the first go. And don't do anything you're not comfortable paying for. And think those things out. Things can add up. Here's an example. If you were to decide to go to the Metropolitan Museum, you need to give a donation. And I recommend not appearing like a cheapskate and embarrassing me on your date. But aside from the museum fee, there's a cafe in that museum that's very fucking expensive. Think about that. Don't let anything you might have to do surprise you financially. Women like people who can adjust and be on the spur of the moment. Have the way you want the date to go in your mind thought out, and adjust to deviations accordingly, but do not get annoyed and do not show frustration if they don't work out the way you want them to. Now, to actually get physically ready, for me at least, takes some intense preparation, because if I really like the woman, I want everything to go right. Let's talk through it. You never know how things are going to go. Maybe you wind up sleeping with the girl the first go of it. Not a great sign for wife material, but regardless. So what I recommend is either get a fresh haircut or just a shape up. Make sure your neckline and sideburns are cleaned. If you can get a little color, tanning beds are a bad idea. I used to do them, but skin cancer is no fucking joke. So if you can just lay out in the sun for a little while, you will look better, darker. And I recommend also getting yourself a manicure that day. Things that women pay attention to are hands and shoes, your breath, little things like that. You also have to decide what you want to wear, and here's how I recommend thinking about that. On your first 2 dates, one, you should wear something that's dressier, and on the second, wear something that's really you. So like an example for me, first night out, let's say we go out to dinner, maybe I wear driving loafers, nice dark denim or well-fitting slacks, a nice fitting button-down shirt and a nice blazer. I like to wear Louis Vuitton Monte Carlo loafers, really dark straight leg nudie jeans, Hermes belt, Thomas Pink dress shirt with a spread collar, and I have this beautiful Ralph Lauren purple label blue pinstripe blazer. Also, wear your nicest watch. Doesn't have to be expensive, just one that you like the best, and make sure that your socks match your belt. I always wear a handkerchief. I think that's a great way to add detail to an outfit for not much money. And then the second date, let's say you're going walking around at a museum. You know me, I'd probably go with some Prada America Cup shoes or clean Air Maxes or Nike Dunks. Again, clean denim, maybe a Burberry polo or a well-made t-shirt. Again, very simple and clean, quality items, but still dress down on that second date. I don't dress the first way every single day, so you need to pretty quickly into the relationship give the other person a realistic portrayal of who you are. And remember guys, your shoes need to be clean. There's not a better time for you to get a shine, and if you're gonna do sneakers, make sure they're really nice, they're crisp, and they don't look worn, and make sure they're cool sneakers. That day or night, take a long hot shower, cover yourself in your best soap. For special occasions, I use my Hermes Orange Ferret Bar soap, also shampoo and conditioner if you need it, body and face scrub to get all of your dead skin off, and then a moisturizer because you want your skin to be really soft and vibrant looking. You need to brush your teeth longer than you usually would, use mouthwash and floss, but still bring breath mints with you. Picking a fragrance can be difficult. Find out more about this woman on the date before you slap on Black Afghano or Jubilation 25. I recommend at least at first being safe. Creed is great, Aventus, Green Irish Tweed in the colder months. I think Tobacco Vanise is safe scent. Udin by Xerjoff, something just not too daring, but something of high quality maybe. Lots of good and safe designer scents out there, and you need to be really careful in your application. You want enough so that she can smell you, but just enough so that she's got to come closer to smell you. Over application is a very bad idea. Also, don't eat something crazy the day or the day before for lunch or dinner. No fucking garlic bread or onion loaves or weird cheese. You don't want any chance of stomach aches or bad breath. Just don't risk it. The last thing is, look, this is sort of a weird topic, but you want to make sure your areas, your private areas, are properly maintained. You know, groom yourself well enough so that, you know, women want to pay attention to that part of your body. If it's hot out and you think you're going to sweat, Panau talcum powder is a great way to keep areas dry. And just really think about, you know, not necessarily yourself, but someone else. You want someone else to get to that area of you. So make sure that it's taken care of well. And that's really it, you know. I think that's how I recommend to get ready for a date once a woman or a girl has said yes to you. So if you have any extra questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. If there's a topic you want to see covered on How a Gentleman Should series, please feel free to message me. We're definitely going to do How a Gentleman Should Dress for every occasion this year. I'm going to redo my How a Gentleman Should Shave video because that one had to get taken down because of a copyright issue in the intro music. And I've got some other great intro videos planned, How a Gentleman Should videos planned, but I want to keep those secret until they're at least in development. And again, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to let me know. If not, I'll see you for more videos this weekend. I am Maximilian. I must know. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.
And I was born in Providence, small neighborhood, ain't much noise. And used to date Pretty Lou from the Lost Boys. So captivated by the way you walk, so caught up by the way you talk, just couldn't